Do you need proof that grain-free can taste good? Listen, if you have that question, if you're doubting grain-free can taste good, I'm going to help you out today. Hey, I'm Dr. Arland Hill, and one of the things that I shared with you that I felt like was really important for you to know if you're serious about regaining your energy is getting grains out of your diet. Grains are a toxic food, and they are an energy-robbing food because of the things that I shared with you in the guide that I gave you. Now, I wanted to give you the opportunity to see a grain-free recipe being made. This is a recipe that we frequently make at my home, and I have to tell you, this is a recipe that the first time my wife Leah introduced this to the family, oh my goodness, I couldn't wait until she prepared it again. So, I'm going to have her join me today and walk you through how to prepare this recipe so that you and your family can enjoy it too, but more importantly, so that it can help get you continuing to move down the path towards being grain-free and not having to feel like you're sacrificing anything.
Hi guys, Leah Hill here, and I'm very excited to share this recipe that I came up with on a whim. And super easy, there's so many combinations you can do, but I'm going to make a particular one. Just wanted to let you know that this can be made without meat for a vegan lasagna. Alright, so first of all, I have all my ingredients here. So I have my organic olive oil, I have my pasta sauce or marinara, I have my eggplants, and I have my meat already prepared, and my almond milk cheese that I got at the local farmer's market this weekend. Super yummy. First thing I'm going to do is actually take my olive oil, put not even a half a teaspoon in there, and I'm going to take a paper towel and I just put some in the middle here, and I'm just going to rub it around. This will actually save you time when you have to go and clean instead of that soaking, pre-soak, and all that fun stuff. So let me get rid of this. Alright, so a lot of people are saying, you know, oh gosh, I have cooked with an eggplant, I don't know what to do with an eggplant, super easy. It doesn't really matter what size of eggplant you get. I'm actually slicing 3, and this will be more than enough for Dr. Hill tonight to kind of indulge in it and then have enough for one person's lunch the next day. So if you need to make a little bit more, then by all means. You can make your stacks a little bit higher, or you can just do it in 2 separate pans. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how easy. You're just going to get rid of the prickly stuff. Just be careful when you do get these at your farmer's market. They do have little thorns on them, so don't prick yourself. So there's really not a right or wrong to this. I usually, you can kind of see the thickness here. If you make them a little bit thicker than this, it is not a big deal. That just means simply, like this one, oops, it's too thick, and I don't want to cut it and slice my finger off. So all I'm probably going to do is add an extra 5 minutes to the cook time. So there's really no way to mess this up. So I'm going to set these in my bowl, and we're going to start rolling. Okay, so what we're going to do, depending on your pan size, I'm going to take the biggest ones first and just simply lay them down flat, okay? So I'm going to be able to get 6 really decent sizes in here. So I like to make these kind of little lasagna towers. So the littlest I would do is 2 layers. I probably have more than enough to maybe go 3 or 4. So on the first layer, be very careful. Don't put too much marinara or cheese on the bottom, just because you don't want to create too much liquid and then the bottom layer is soggy. So less is more on the first layer, but as you go up, your tip-top layer is where you're going to add all the extra goodies. Because what's going to happen is that cheese and that marinara and your meat are all going to bind together, and it's going to make this amazing like crust on the top. And also we'll broil it just for like 5 minutes on low broil, and it'll actually kind of bubble that cheese up and get that little brown color on it, which is so good. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of marinara on each one. And I'll show you what this looks like. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera. So I'm just going to smush it around a little bit. And this is more of just like a little base to get everything to stick to. So that's kind of in a nutshell what it looks like. Okay, guys? So I'm just going to take a little bit of meat. Now remember, less is more on the first layer. So I'm going to be very kind of stingy on the first layer. I'm going to take a little bit of cheese. Just kind of pop it in there. Alright, so now we're going to go for the second layer. And I'm going to try to match up the sizes as close as I can. It's kind of like doing Legos or Lincoln Logs, you know. You want to make sure everything kind of has a sturdy base so it doesn't tumble over. So basically this is just repeating the steps over for each layer. And again, so when you're preparing the lasagna, you want to make sure that you go ahead and brown your meat. Go ahead and drain it of all the grease. I don't add any seasonings to the meat just because there's plenty of seasoning in here. So I'm going to go a little bit more on the cheese on here because we're going to start getting to my last layer. All right. And don't be scared to use the end pieces on the top. It actually makes for kind of a cool dish. But this one, I actually have 2 left over. I'm just going to set those to the side. So this is where I'm actually going to go a little more fun on it. So you can kind of see my tower start to form on here. I'm going to let it all kind of fall over. Now this wasn't a whole jar of the marinara sauce. This was only half. So less is more kind of on the sauce unless you want it like an ooey gooey layer at the bottom, okay? Alright. So I'm going to finish off my meat crumble at the top here. Add my last thing of cheese. This is going to be good. Alright. So from here, what I would do, if you don't have a glass lid to put on top to kind of seal in the moisture, that's okay. That means when you're, instead of doing like a 5-minute broil, you only need to do like 2 or 3 minutes because you don't want to actually dry out the eggplant itself. So I put the oven on 400 degrees and I put it in there for 45 minutes. Now I do check it. It might need 5 to 10 more minutes, just depending on your oven. Everybody's different. If you have a convection oven, it's going to be a little bit less. If you have a regular traditional oven, it's going to be a little bit more time. So just kind of keep an eye on it. They'll last about 5 minutes before the timer's up. Way you can tell is if you stick a fork through it, make it go all the way down, it's ready to go. You just want to make sure that the skin on the outside of the eggplant, since it's really tough and rubbery, that if you don't cook it right or for enough time, it'll be really rubbery and it'll be kind of hard to chew and cut through. It won't be as fun as an experience. It'll still taste good, but it'll be a little bit more work. All right, so I have one ready to go in the oven, so let's get this out. So I made just a little mini one. Give it out just a second. Ooh, it's hot. Alright, so this one's just a little mini one, just kind of showing that you can make a smaller batch, a larger batch, it doesn't really matter. So on this, now I didn't broil it, so it doesn't have that nice crispy crust on top, but this is what it looks like straight out of the oven without touching it. So I'm actually going to take my little knife, and I am going to see if it cuts all the way down to the bottom effortlessly through that skin. So therefore, it's ready to eat. That is so good. So this is actually our dinner for tonight, and I'm super stoked. Cannot wait to dig in. So happy cooking. Again, you can add meat, any meat you like. I use lamb. You can use beef, chicken. You could even use a white fish if you wanted to. So anyway, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope you enjoy my lasagna stackers. Have a good day.